first chapter, I just spit everywhere. Hi, welcome back. Today is gonna be fun, I hope. I'm gonna be doing another one of those try a chapter unhaul tag things where I read a bunch of books and then I decide if I want to continue on with the book or if I want to just say not interested and stick it in the unhaul pile. I made one of these a few months ago and it was so much fun. I had a ton of fun filming that video. I had a ton of fun editing that video, and I wanted to film another video tonight. I already had the setup going, so I figured, what the heck. The premise is simple. I have basically already explained it. I picked a bunch of books off my shelf. I'm gonna read the first chapter or the first little bit of them and decide if I want to keep them or get rid of them. I picked out 9 books. I doubt my camera battery is gonna live through 9 books, so I'm just gonna read them until my camera battery starts flashing and then go on from there. Last time I did this, I picked the books based on how long I'd owned them. I tried to, read the first chapters of some of the oldest books on my TBR. This time I just went along my shelves and I picked books that I've had for a while. I don't exactly know how long, but that I am interested to see what the first chapter is like. And these are kind of books that I feel like could stay, could go, either way. Also, last time I had only adult books, so I tried to pick a mix of adult and YA, so this should be interesting. As I did the first time around, I'm gonna go one by one, because like I said, I don't know how long the camera battery is gonna last, and I might decide to give up halfway through the stack because I'm bored. So anyway, the first book on my stack is The Walled City by Ryan Groudon. I've had this book for a long time, probably one of the first few books that I got when I started my channel. I've definitely had it since like 2014 or something like that. So I'm interested to see if I'm interested in this at all. This is about the Walled City, which I'm pretty sure is a real place in China. And it's about several characters and they're all fighting to survive. I don't know anything about it, obviously. Let's read the first chapter. This was really short, and it's basically, it drops you right in the action. There is a girl who is running for her life. She's just stolen a pair of shoes and she's trying to get away. Apparently in this world it is really dangerous for a girl to be on the streets, so she is disguised as a boy, and the second chapter is told from a completely different perspective. Oh, and I even see a third perspective further on. So it sounds like, or it looks like, there's going to be several different perspectives in this, and basically, I didn't get much from the first chapter, but it seems like a girl is looking for her sister and she's in this city, and I'm sure it's going to be interesting. I definitely really enjoyed this and I 100% will be keeping it. I'm going to try to read it really soon because, yeah, that really hooked me, and I'm very intrigued by it. So I'm glad that I read the first chapter of this. Next up, I have The Kite Runner by Colette Hosseini. This has been on my TBR since before I started BookTube. It's one of the oldest books that I own. It's not on my list of like how long I've owned books because I got this before I started making videos. It's one that I've always been interested in. It's about 2 boys in, I believe, Afghanistan. They're friends and something happens and it's told maybe in a dual timeline. Oh, there is a bookmark in this. So at some point I tried to read it all the way up to page 12. All right, let's give it a go. The first chapter is only 2 pages. Like I said, the first chapter was just 2 pages and I was gonna read more, but the next chapter was like 8 pages, so I didn't really want to go further than that. Obviously, I've read the first chapter of this at some point before because there is a bookmark in here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it is told in 2 timelines. It opens with a man in 2001 and he gets a call from a friend and he starts thinking about something that happened in 1975. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a flashback situation, like we're gonna go back to 1975 and he's gonna tell us the story of what happened. I really don't know, but yeah, I'll definitely be keeping this. Super intriguing. This book is like very highly acclaimed, so I'm sure it's gonna be good and I am looking forward to reading it. The next book is And Again by Jessica Chiarella. I don't really know how to pronounce that. I got this at Target, obviously. several years ago, and I really don't know what it's about. I think it might be a sci-fi novel about a world where there is this surgery that you can have to basically like put yourself in a brand new body, and it like erases all of your blemishes and like all your problems, but it also might erase your memories. And I think it follows several different perspectives and several different people who choose to have this surgery. I really don't know, but let's give it a go. The first chapter is pretty long. It's about 14 pages, so I'm just gonna read to the first like little section break, which is on page 7. Really good. I just read like 7 pages, like I said, and I'm instantly intrigued. Like the writing is so good. There were like 3 or 4 places that I really wanted to just underline because I loved the way something was explained or just the passage in general. I don't really know much about it yet. The first chapter opens with a woman waking up just after she's had this procedure done. So I don't really know anything about it, but I'm super intrigued and definitely one I'll be keeping, definitely one I'll be continuing on with very soon. The next book is Orphan Train by Christina Baker Klein. I got this one for Christmas a few years ago, and it was also on my July TBR. It's not one that I got to in July. It's also one that I've had the audiobook of for a while, but just haven't ever like made an effort to listen to. So let's give it a go. This is a historical fiction novel. I believe it's set during 2 timelines, and it follows a young Irish immigrant named Vivian who was sent by rail from New York City to an uncertain future a world away. And then a girl named Molly who decides to do some community service, helping an elderly widow clean out her attic, and that's how Molly and Vivian meet. And I'm sure it's gonna be Vivian telling Molly her life story. It's really short, so let's see. Oh, this one has a 1-page prologue, and then the first chapter is 10 pages. Okay, my camera cut off while I was reading, but another one that I'm super intrigued by. This is, like I said, set in 2 timelines, but I think it's gonna be like the older woman is telling the younger woman the story, or the girl. Molly is the 17-year-old. Her timeline is in 2011, and she is a troubled teen. Basically, she's a foster child, and she's gotten into some trouble, and her foster parents basically give her the option to go work or to go help this older lady or go to jail. That's all I know. I haven't really met Vivian, who's the older lady. She was the narrator of the prologue, but I haven't like met her as a character yet in the story. So definitely another one I'll be continuing on with, keeping it, and I'm super intrigued by it. This is a great thing. 4 books, 4 successes so far. I also have The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner. This is one that I've had. I got it at a thrift store a while back. That thrift store is not even open anymore, so that's sad. I've had it for a while and have never felt compelled to read it, so I'm gonna give it a go and see what I think of it. I don't really know what this book is about. I'm pretty sure the main character is the son of a preacher and he's having some trouble at school. I don't really know. Oh, the main character's name is Dill. Okay, the first chapter, oh, the second chapter is narrated by somebody different. Okay, great. The first chapter is 11 pages. Oh, and I take the dust jacket off because I'm not a monster. First chapter. I read the first 6 pages and again super intrigued. This is young adult, it's contemporary, and like I said, the main character I was pretty sure is the son of a pastor, and he is, but his father is currently in prison and he is going to visit him at the start of the book, and obviously don't really know what he's in prison for yet. Maybe if I had read the whole first chapter, I would have found out. Again, super intrigued. I really like the writing style. I'm really intrigued by the main character. Definitely gonna be keeping this. Definitely gonna be continuing on with it. I'm glad I'm doing this right now because these 5 books may end up on my September TBR. Next up, I have The Most Dangerous Place on Earth by Lindsay Lee Johnson. This is a Book of the Month selection from January 2017. One of my oldest Book of the Month books that I have left unread. I think this might be young adults, and I think it might be a mystery, but I really don't know. So let's find out. Couldn't have lasted forever, right? I already read 5 good ones. There had to be a dud in the mix somewhere. I'm not gonna say that this book would be a dud. I'm sure it would entertain me, but I wasn't super gripped by the first little bit. The first chapter was 31 pages, so I only read till like the first little section break, which was like 7 pages. I don't really have a good sense of what the story's gonna be about. I don't really have a good sense of the characters. I just don't really know how I'm gonna feel about this. I don't think this is gonna be a book that I'm gonna like. I'm gonna put this in the unhaul pile. If somebody in the comments like says that's like one of my favorite books, you really should give it a chance, I might consider keeping it. I don't know. I just wasn't gripped by it like the other 5 books that I already tried. So I think I'm gonna say goodbye to this one. Next up, I have The Divine Secrets of the Ya Sisterhood by Rebecca Wells. First of all, this is one of my favorite book covers. I like it because it's so simple. I like the green. I like the sunflower at the top. Yeah, I like this book. I like the way it looks, but I don't know what it's about at all. Let's see what it's all about. The prologue and the first chapter are about 10 pages, but there's a lot of words on a page, so I may just read like 5. So I think this is going to be a book about a mother-daughter relationship and the complexities of a mother-daughter relationship. Not much has happened in like the little bit that I read. I didn't read the entire first chapter. I read up to page like 5. I'm very intrigued. Can I say that again? Yeah, I'll definitely be keeping this. We'll definitely try to continue on with it. It's not like the most intriguing thing. Like of all the books that I've read and have decided to keep, this is probably like the lowest one on the list. But I'm still intrigued enough that I don't want to unhaul it yet. I want to give it another chance. Like, give it some more time before I decide whether or not this is going to be a book for me. I'm getting tired. What time is that? 9:30? 1, 2, that's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. 7 books. That's probably enough for tonight, don't you think? So I think that I'm going to stop there. I have a couple more books, but I'll save them for a future video. I read through the first chapters or the first little bit of 7 books, and 6 of them I'm keeping. One of them, you know, I'm a little on the fence about, but I'm for sure keeping 5 of them, and a 6th one is a strong possibility. So I would say that this one was much more successful than the first installment of my Try a Chapter tag. I think I am most intrigued to continue on with The Walled City by Ryan Groudon and again by Jessica Chiarella, and also, you know, maybe even a little bit like The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner. I think these are probably the 3 that intrigued me the most. So I'm gonna definitely try to get to these relatively soon. Of course, there's a couple books in my first Try a Chapter that I said I was gonna get to relatively soon and still haven't read those. So, you know, take what I say with a grain of salt. But yeah, I am really excited, especially excited about these 3. I'm very intrigued and excited about these 3. The Divine Secrets of the Ya Sisterhood, The Kite Runner, and Orphan Train. All 3 books that I definitely want to continue on with and I think could potentially be really good. The only one I'm going to unhaul is The Most Dangerous Place on Earth by Lindsay Lee Johnson, and I mean, it wasn't bad, it just didn't really capture my attention like the other ones. So I think that overall this was a pretty successful Try a Chapter tag. And just like last time, it was a ton of fun to film, even though it's just me sitting here reading and you sitting there watching me read. It's still exciting to like get my first impressions of the first chapters of several of these books. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of the books that I mentioned in this video and what you thought about them. Which of these do I definitely need to prioritize? Which of the 6 books that I'm keeping would you say I need to put on my next TBR because it's crucial? I'd really love to know. And if you like these types of videos, please let me know because they're a lot of fun for me to make. I really like doing them, but if you don't like watching them, then that's something that I definitely need to take into account. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you again very soon. Bye!